What it do, what it do, what it do, good people, what it do. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to all of you who are already in the family. Welcome back. And to those who are new to the channel, hopefully you have subscribed. Welcome to the family. And if you are new here, don't don't be afraid to drop a little notification that you are a new subby in the comment section, and I will try my best to get back to you. We're gonna do a little learn ya today, right? Um, I had a subscriber come to me and let me know that, oh, you know what? The things you said in your last video was cool, but it's like I already know that stuff. But what we have to know as individuals is that what we know and what we feel is common sense might not be the same for the next person. So, sometimes we got to go back to ABC 1, 2, 3. We got to go back to the basics. And sometimes when we're making adjustments in our life, usually we got to go back to the drawing board, i.e., the basics, to figure out, just where on the track we went wrong. So before I get into that, oh, and just to let you know, this part of um, this episode, I like to call it life study. Once again, I told you in the beginning that we're going to be learning together. And just like I missed last week, which I missed um, bringing this message to um, this channel because I was having technical difficulties. This is my first time doing this. I don't have a tech guy, and all of this stuff is brand new to me. So I had to figure out what in the world was going wrong. Um, so I did attempt to do it. However, the playback was not playing back the way it needed to. But you live and you learn. And so now I figured out what was wrong, and we're here, right? So, just to let you know, all this stuff that I will be talking about today will be listed in the description box. And this is life study. We have to learn together. And I love reading. Anything that's going to help me be better as an individual, like I said, in the banner that's going across at the bottom, doing the inner work is the new sexy. We have to do it you know um if you want to be better, you have to learn how to be better. It just doesn't pop in your head. And sometimes learning, there it comes from either knowing somebody that's gone through a situation, or experiences the best teacher. Hopefully, that experience didn't take you too far off your beaten path, but nevertheless, we're here and we are going to try and get this done. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover this all in one session, but I'm going to try my best. So, if you made it this far, and I know I'm just getting started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and like, comment, and share, because as our family grows, our knowledge grows. They say that the best, or is it the best library is in the cemetery, because all of that knowledge hasn't been shared. So, each one teach one. And if I say something that strikes a chord with you, please don't hesitate to drop a comment, because I will respond. Let's get the conversation started. So, as you can see by the title of this episode, um, it says procrastination is not my fault, or is it? Simply because I had a subscriber tell me that, you know, I know all of that. Everything that you're saying, I already know. And the whole cliche is, if you know better, do better, right? But it's always not that simple. It's easier said than done, in more cases than none. And so we always can tell somebody, oh, you need to do X, Y, Z, whatever. But if you don't give the proper instructions or the step by step, how is that person going to actually accomplish whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish? And so this individual was telling me that procrastination is a big thing. And I think that that is a big thing amongst everybody, if we're going to be honest. Let me put both hands up and tell you that years ago, I was a major procrastinator. If you looked up the word procrastination, you probably saw a picture of me in the dictionary or Google or dictionary.com or whatever. Um, but life has a way of lighting a fire, you know, up your backside to let you know that procrastination is just not going to be a fit, especially if you are trying to get ahead in life. Procrastination is it's oil and water. And we know that oil and water does not mix. However, depending on your solution, you can get it to mix. However, that solution, it has to be worked at. You know, it's not something that you can say abracadabra and then it's going to mix well. That's not how this works. So, um, me, when the subscriber approached me with this, I said, you know what, let me do a little digging. And I just did a little digging. And that's why I said, the things that I'll be, briefly covering today, I'm going to do a little bit of reading. Because I know we are in the land of, I don't want to read, just tell me what to do. So I'm going to briefly cover some of my highlighted, and I know you probably can't see this, but I highlighted some things that should be interesting, because as I started doing my research, and let me be clear, I am not a therapist, I'm not a licensed psychologist or anything like that. I Googled this procrastination topic, and like I was hinting on my last episode, that some of the things that we deal with um, is passed down to us. It's hereditary, believe it or not. Uh, your environment definitely plays a part in your progression or the lack thereof. And so let's just jump right into it, right? Enough of the talking. The first information that I'll be talking about, let me just let you know that this research was actually funded by a grant from the National Institute of Health, and you know that as the NIH. For those who've ever done any type of papers regarding health, they're a big organization, very prominent in the healthcare field. So it's the title of it is Genetic Relations Among Procrastination, Impulsivity, and Goal Management Ability. Implications for the evolutionary origin of procrastination. Can you believe it? It's stuff like this out here. So I'm just going to briefly go through it, and then we're going to do some dialogue about it. It says procrastination is heritable. Can you believe that? Procrastination being hereditary. So technically, scientifically, now I don't know, I wasn't there during the implication of this study, but for those who like to place blame on other people instead of taking accountability, this is for you. Isn't that horrible? Yeah. So procrastination is heritable. And then they were talking about the correlation between procrastination and impulsivity. Just stick with me. This whole situation is crazy. It says these two traits share considerable genetic variation. Goal management ability is an important component of this shared variation. So basically, your procrastination and your impulsivity, it directly affects your goal management ability. So whether or not you're capable of achieving goals, these two traits, procrastination and impulsivity, being impulsive, plays a major part. They say, according to this study, that um, procrastination is 46% and 49% for the impulsivity. Um, that's in you. So it's like, according to your hereditary, your hereditary situation, you could be already set up to fail, right? It says procrastination is, this is the definition, the voluntary but irrational delay of an intended course of action, is a widespread behavioral problem. Okay. That may be harmful not only to the procrastinator's psychological, physical, and financial well being, but also to other people that count on him and her. It says some research has examined potential environmental factors influencing procrastination tendencies, such as parenting styles and social support network. So, when I read that, I quickly thought, like, if you have or grew up in a household where you can pretty much do whatever it is that you want to do at whatever time you wanted to do it, when you eventually grow up, God willing, to be an adult, and things that are needing to be done in a quick manner, you're not going to be prepared, so to speak, because all your life you've been in an environment where, you know, being lackadaisical about some things were, it was okay. So when things come up and urgently need to be addressed, you're not going to have that sense of urgency that it takes to get that situation accomplished or that goal accomplished, because for how many years have you been in this laid back state? You know, so it's almost asking you to do something that's foreign to you. And then the social support network, we all heard the cliche, birds of a feather flock together. So if you're around a lot of individuals that take their time doing things, and when it comes in your situation, like I said earlier, that you have to address something in a quick manner, you're not going to be, in my opinion, you're not going to be readily available. You're not going to be prepared to tackle that situation head on in the time frame that's needed. Um, Moving on, it says, namely, that procrastination is a byproduct of an evolutionary, more basic trait, impulsivity. Moreover, we specified the cognitive basis of the procrastination impulsivity link by demonstrating that individual differences in goal management ability accounts for much of the shared variation between these traits. Um, this, and I'm just skipping because, like I said, I just highlighted some things. It said, suggesting that more impulsive individuals procrastinate more. Can you understand that? Now, take this time, take a few seconds. Are you an impulsive individual? Because when I was reading this, it took me back to myself, because like I said, I'm not up here just because I am recording this on YouTube and everything. This is teaching me. I was looking into my own life to see in what areas have I been impulsive in. What, at the times when I was procrastinating, and still there, I still have moments, very few moments of procrastination, but it does not hinder me like it used to back in the day. But when it said that impulsive individuals procrastinate more, I was intrigued tell me more, right? So I'm going to read a little bit. Uh, bear with me. It says, first, procrastination and impulsivity seem to share a common underlying cognitive ability, namely goal management ability, defined here as the ability to actively maintain and, if necessary, retrieve or reactivate one's short term and long term goals to effectively guide behaviors. From this goal management perspective, procrastination is about irrationally delaying actions to help accomplish um, one's important goals, whereas impulsivity is about giving in into temptations, often at the expense of making progress on important long-term goals. Thus, it seems plausible that much of the commonality between these traits reflect goal management ability. Indeed, a recent theory like this goes really deep. Temporal motivation theory proposes goal setting as an important component of procrastination tendencies, but much of the existing research on individual differences in procrastination has focused on specifying personality variables related to the procrastination and largely neglected the cognitive mechanisms underlying procrastination. As a result, prior evidence demonstrating a link between goal management ability and procrastination has been limited. So let me tell you, this research was done in 2014. So it's fairly new. Even though it's 2022, 2014 was not that long ago. It says, second, a recent proposal in 2010 that procrastination is an evolutionary byproduct of impulsivity also highlights goal management as an important component of procrastination impulsivity relationship. According to this account, impulsivity was a useful trait for early humans, hunter gatherers, who needed to satisfy their basic survival needs quickly. In those pre agricultural days, there may have been little reason to spend time creating long term plans for a distant future. In fact, taking too much time thinking about the future could sometimes have been harmful if it meant distraction from satisfying immediate goals. The modern world, however, is structured differently. Modern day humans just juggle to make progress on many long term goals to ensure future successes. Although the environment has shifted to valuing long term goals over immediate survival needs, the impulsive tendencies that have been firmly ingrained during the course of human evolution are still present and thereby make modern day humans highly susceptible to succumbing to temptations without much consideration for long term goals, resulting in procrastination. Because procrastination is proposed to have its origins in an evolutionary adaptive trait, impulsivity hypothesis that a genetic basis for procrastination. Without a genetic component, the ability to procrastinate couldn't easily be passed on. We evolved to be procrastinators. Thus, according to this account, modern individuals with a greater genetic predisposition for impulsivities may be also more likely to procrastinate as a result of these same genetic influences. I know I just read a lot, but it says that procrastination is an evolutionary trait. So it almost debunks the whole hereditary fact that, hey, I was born with this trait and procrastination is not my fault. Like I was saying earlier, this is something that has evolved over time. Unfortunately, if you grew up in a household that allowed you to get away with, you know, being slow to action. I know that was not uh, an, a staple in my household. When my mom spoke, you better get moving. There was no I'll get to it later, or I'll get to it when I get to it. Oh no, when she spoke, it was time to move. And like this was saying, back in the day, our ancestors, if you will, the hunter gatherers, they didn't really have all the things that were pressing for them. They just needed to eat for the day or whatnot. And so they were just basically focused on just one thing. And so they didn't have, a multi-task in life where they had to, deal with the kids or go to work or do two jobs or go to school. And if you're a single parent, you have to do everything you're on your own or whatnot. They didn't have all of these pressures. And so I think that procrastination is not only a byproduct of impulsivity, it's just, I believe procrastination is almost it is a behavioral problem. But I think because we as individuals don't really understand how to prioritize what's going on, we look at everything that we need to do and it becomes overwhelming, and we just peace out, we check out, and then we end up not doing anything, which is not a good idea either. So moving forward, let's get into some more of this study. It says this is a part that got me. It says, in other words, procrastinators are also impulsive in large part because they fail to manage goals effectively to guide their behaviors. Such results are consistent with the proposal that procrastination may be an evolutionary byproduct of impulsivity. There is something here that I wanted to read. Bear with me. Like I said, the things that I got this from will definitely be in the description box. But as I was reading this, I was definitely intrigued, because it's almost like if you come from a family and they have an issue with obesity, or not even that, alcoholism, things that can definitely be passed down. If you have that in your family line, if it's on your family tree, it almost say, just like the paper was saying, that you have a predisposition, that you're going to deal with these issues. So you have to be mindful of that and work extra hard not to deal with it. Um, this that I found as well. The title is "Can't Break the Procrastination Cycle, Blame Your Parents." This is crazy. So I'm not even gonna say this person's name, because I know I'm just gonna murder it. Like I said, all my references are gonna be down in the details. But it says, however, um, this person who wrote this is still confident that innate biological factors can play a huge role in your procrastination habit. We know that some people are predisposed to having higher or lower thresholds for the amount of negative emotions they can tolerate. And if your tolerance for negative emotions is set very low, you're in an uncomfortable position. Unless you have good emotion regulation skills, you're likely to procrastinate. And to procrastinate, it's an immediate rewarding strategy for managing negative emotions. Let me go back, because I don't want to go fast over this. Okay, this person, she said that even though she believes that Procrastination has biological factors which can play a huge role in your procrastination habit. Okay, not necessarily the 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 40, what is it, 46%. We know that people are predisposed to having higher or lower thresholds for the amount of negative emotions they can tolerate. Just like I was saying, if you have a plethora of things that you on your to-do list that you have to accomplish, it can become overwhelming. And so with that comes anxiety. And if you aren't able to accomplish anything on that to-do list, now you become, low-key depressed. It says, and if your tolerance for negative emotions is set very low, you you're in an uncomfortable position. Unless you have good emotional regulation skills, you're likely to procrastinate, and to procrastinate, as it is an immediate rewarding strategy for managing negative emotions. So if you are feeling anxiety or having a tidbit of depression because you can't accomplish whatever it is that you set out to do, to just push it to the side becomes an immediate reward. So then when you move on in life and you have other things on your to-do list, and then it reminds you of, here comes that overwhelming sensation, then you say, you know what, I'm cool on it, peace out. It becomes that rewarding feeling that, oh, I'm just not going to deal with it, right? It says when you put the task aside, you get immediate mood relief. You get that hedonic shift, and that reinforces procrastination. So now you don't have to do it. You put it off, and you're like, okay, good, I ain't got to do it. But doing that too many times, now whatever it is that was on your to-do list, it just continues to follow you and follow you and follow you. And so if the task that you had at hand was only 3 things to do, and we all know as we move on and continue on in life, if you don't pay this bill this month, that money that you neglected to pay is just going to follow to the next month. And so now you have double the money. You keep putting it off, that money is just going to keep on building, or the lights are going to get cut off, or the heat, or you're going to get, the eviction notice, or whatever have you. They're going to come and try to repo the car, or whatever have you. You can't keep doing this. And like I said, one of the subscribers approached me with this, and so it made me do some digging. It made me do some self-reflection, and just tie in the negative emotions that are associated with procrastination and being impulsive. Like, this is crazy, right? It says, however, the stigmatization of procrastination is hardly helpful, particularly when it is framed as lazy. So, we have our friends, or i.e. maybe our parents, um, to see these traits, if you will, that we keep dealing with from time to time, and then they keep telling you, oh man, you're just lazy, you're a procrastinator. And then, if I loved psychology, I should have been a psychologist, I don't know, but I love the mind and trying to figure out why we do what we do. Things in my life, I like to dig and figure out why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. Why? Because if it's not benefiting my life, we all have to make adjustments. As I always say, I try to figure out what I can do to be better. Isn't that the goal here? Right. So this says labeling the behavior like this, i.e., labeling procrastinators as being lazy, feeds a negative self-image and shame. So if you even call yourself a procrastinator, that's something negative, okay? It is negative. It is not positive. It is low vibrational. It is not high vibrational. It's just going to make people feel worse. Okay. I hardly see anybody say, yay, I'm a procrastinator. That's awesome. No, it's negative. Okay. And it makes them procrastinate even more. If you look back into my college days, labeling theory, it's almost like if a person is a certain way, right, or you perceive them to be a certain way and they're really not, but it's your perception, and you keep calling that person that thing, eventually they're going to give into it. That's what the labeling theories, look it up. The labeling theory says that, if you keep calling a person something, or you label them something, over time they're going to ingest that, they're going to start believing in that, and then they actually become what you labeled. So it says procrastinators, especially chronic procrastinators, are extremely hard on themselves. They engage in these types of ruminative, negative, evaluative, oh my god, I can't even talk today. um um they engage in these types of thoughts. They think things like, quote unquote, why did I leave this until the last minute? I had so long to do it. How many times have we all said that, right? However, if you engage in self-compassion, it's possible to stop these wheels from spinning. In practical terms, having self-compassion, it's possible to stop these wheels spinning. And it means doing anything that breaks the cycle of rumination and gains perspective. And with this writer advocating for mindfulness exercises, writing a letter to yourself, just getting in a more positive place, right? So they included some questions that are some statements that procrastinators usually say. I am continually say, I'll do it tomorrow. Are you that type of person to put it off? Oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I don't get started until time is about to run out. When I was in college, let me tell you, I could have had a month to do a paper, right? And I will wait till like the last 2 weeks. I don't know why, but I don't know what it is. It to me it's sickening, because it's like I work best under pressure. And why would I put myself through that stress? You put your body through unnecessary stressing and causing internal things to happen. The anxiety increases. Why would you put it off? That's something I still question myself. I take care of unpleasant things only at the last minute, and especially if it's something that I don't want to do, I'm definitely going to put it to the side. Something that I'm still working on. Like I said, I'm in this together. I'm not up here and you guys are down here. These are things that I am working out on my own. Like I said, I don't procrastinate on things as much as I used to. I am way past that. But going through this list of things, I said, man, how often did I say these things? I repeatedly postpone something. I tell myself, you can always do it tomorrow. I avoid difficult goals. I readily put things aside. Life is going to throw some unfavorable curveballs. Okay. Problems are not on a schedule. Things are going to come when you least expect it. And so if you don't put yourself in a position of handling your business, like I said earlier, if you don't have that I'm going to attack this situation right now. If you don't have that sense of urgency when it comes to the point where you need to have that go getting about yourself, it's going to be difficult to try and pull on that because it's not there. Unfortunately, procrastination being a hereditary issue, this is crazy. But as these studies have shown, it's an evolutionary thing, which means over time you have evolved into this person that procrastinates. So the good news here, and I know this all sounds negative, the good news is that you can evolve into a person who does not procrastinate. The hard part is doing away with all the negative uh, habits that we used to do, putting it to the side. All these things that they say that people, procrastinators, say to themselves. I've said these things to myself several times, millions of times. And the thing that I did, I'm not saying that what I did or do is going to work for you, but you have to find your niche. Whereas when you get faced with things, you have to just, by all means, say, you know what, I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna take care of it, because the more you get into the habit of taking care of it, you build up this reservoir of not procrastinating, you this reservoir of energy, if you will, or this know-how, or this confidence that you can accomplish these goals. Because looking back, the things that I procrastinated on were definitely things that I didn't want to do, i.e., like I said, a paper in college. Who wants to do a paper, right? Especially a 10-page paper. um But then I put myself under so much stress. I put myself under so much stress. Why? When I could have did like maybe a page a day. I had a month to do it. And if I just did a paragraph a day, by the time the paper came due, everything would have been smooth sailing. So that's what I want to say here, is that a lot of things is not going to be black and white. You have to find the road that works for you. What I do know is when it comes down to procrastination, you can't wait. Stop waiting. When you hear yourself telling you, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. No, depending on what it is, sometimes you do have time to get it done tomorrow. But if this is a chronic situation, every time a situation comes, you got to just hit it head on. You have to, even if you have time, you have to attack it like it's life or death. You have no time to waste. You got to do it right now, because you got to get your body, you got to get your mind in the habit of taking care of it right now, because it's you. If you don't deal with it, depending on where you are in your life, you're not going to have somebody to come and do it for you. You have to do it yourself. These are things that I had to tell myself. Girl, please get off that thing and handle your business. I wanted to get into, and I don't know what happened to, maybe it's in here. Hold on. This is my third paper, and then we're going to wrap it up. This is another paper that was written in 2017. It says you might be genetically predisposed to procrastination. Like I said, until I was doing some digging, until I was approached by one of the subscribers about this, I started digging, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is really a thing, right? This person is an MD, Sherrod Paul, and he is the author of The Genetics of Health, Understand Your Genes for Better Health. He said the genetics of procrastination are related to the genetics of impulsivity. Cal Newport, author of Deep Work an assistant professor of computer science at Georgetown University, says one of the reasons we procrastinate is because our brain isn't buying into our plans. Can you believe that? Our brains is like, we're not having it. If we stop and think about this, it makes complete sense, says Paul. We can identify with those times we had a business plan that we had written up in great detail, but were delaying doing something about it, being active. If we were to be honest about it, either we were not ready or hadn't thought it through well enough. In Newport's words, you shouldn't lament procrastination, but instead listen to it. While procrastinations, while procrastinators, are delayers, lazy people are sloths, says Paul. Research from the Institute of Genetics and Developmental Biology in Beijing and the University of Aberdeen, sorry if I'm butchering this, identified a genetic mutation called SLC35D3 that produces a protein that interferes with the brain's dopamine system, which triggers cells to initiate movement. So they're saying there's a mutation. We are X-Men, right? In mice that had a faulty SLC3 blah 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 gene, the dopamine receptors were trapped inside cells. Therefore, these mice became couch potatoes. Okay. It says if we want to know for sure that you have sluggish or procrastination gene, Paul has developed a DNA test that can pinpoint tendencies. Blah blah blah. It says we can even predict people who are more likely to avoid exercise. Who doesn't do that, right? From time to time. But it says while it's tempting to simply blame our parents, the buck stops with you. People think that genes determine their fate. This is only true if their actions lead in that direction. So basically, from the beginning, they saying 46% of this procrastination gene is passed down to you. But moreover, that was in 2014. But now in 2017, this individual says that no, the buck stops with you. I listened to a prominent YouTuber by the name of Zoe Williams. He is my mentor to me. He doesn't know it, but he says claim over blame, meaning you have to claim your own faulty situations instead of blaming other people. Because if you want to take time to blame people, then you're living in a victim mentality. Then it's like, oh, it's not my fault, I was born like this or I was raised like this. But at the end of the day, if you are at a point or a position in your life and you don't like where you are, guess what? No one else in your life has the power to change it except you. Like this paper said, like Mr. Paul said, the buck stops with you. No one else can tell you differently. So at the end of the day, we have to change our perspective. Okay, you don't have to procrastinate to get to work because you bought into that plan that you will be compensated. So like this said, your brain doesn't buy into whatever it is that you're trying to do. So that's one of the reasons why you procrastinate. But when it comes to having to go to work, even if you quote unquote hate your job, you're going to make sure that alarm is set. You're going to show up. Why? Because you have bought into the idea of, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to clock in for these hours, and then I'm going to be compensated. So guess what? The compensation, once again, with whatever it is in your life, it relies on you, on recognizing, you know what, I need to get this done because once I get this done, it's going to benefit me. the more you push that to the side, whatever it is that you need to get done, the worse it's gonna be. As time goes, the worse it's gonna be. It's like a tire that has a nail in it. If you procrastinate to get it done, you're gonna be on only 3 tires, and that one tire is gonna slow you down. Why? Because now it's flat. Because you procrastinated in getting it done. So I'm gonna wrap this up, but I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Procrastination, it says that we have been genetically predisposed to this, but there's also parental factors, there's social environment factors. But at the end of the day, you can't just say, it's not my fault. I was born like this. There are paraplegics that get up and go to work every day. They get up and they live their life. They don't allow what they have been predisposed to. And not even just paraplegics, just anybody who has any physical ailments, even mental ailments, people find the wherewithal to fight through that. So God willing, you have all the activities of your limbs. If you're watching this, and hopefully, you have the ability to mentally do some deduction in your mind to figure out where exactly on your path you have allowed this procrastination demon to hold you captive. You have to find that and totally divorce yourself, put that to the side. Now, put the procrastination to the side. Why? Because we're in a modern world where we have to be able to multitask at any given time. And you have to be able and willing to attack it with aggression, because the more time you allow to pass, what opportunities are you going to allow to pass you by? You know, you and I don't want to say you have to, because at the end of the day, it's your life. You have to look at your life and see if you're cool with where you are, if procrastination is working for you, kudos, you know. But if you are a person that is striving for more, striving for better, then if anything that I've mentioned today, if you look back on your life, even today, right now, as you're viewing this, if you can look and say, you know what? It's not a good look. Procrastination has not helped me, not one bit. It does not help at all. So do yourself a favor, as I have done myself a favor and continuing to do myself a favor, to get out of that procrastination rut. If you know you got things to do, and if it pertains to your life being better, and your life is not going to be better until you tackle these things, I need you to be like Nike and just do it. Because whatever you resist will persist. Meaning that if you continue to put it off, things are just going to pile up, pile up, pile up. And then, like I said earlier, then your emotions are going to be out of whack. You're not going to be able to not only are you going to have to deal with the procrastination, now you're going to have to deal with the emotions that you put yourself under, because it's just the domino effect of just a downhill snowball. It's not a good look. It's not the new sexy, okay? Procrastination is not sexy. Time is passing you by. And guess what? We can't get time back. So whatever it is that you need to do it aggressively, because you don't know what tomorrow will hold for you. If it's something that you need to do, if you need to talk to somebody about whatever it is, Attack it right now, because you might not ever get that chance again. You know, like I said earlier, missed opportunities. Why? Because I can just do it tomorrow. I can just do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, God willing, and something else happens. And so now you have those couple of things to do. And now the next day has presented its own set of challenges. You got to get off that merry-go-round. This is something that I told myself, something that helped me, because shout out to the subscriber that approached me with this, because at the same time, you know, we always say, oh, stop doing this, but we don't never talk about the how-tos. And so when I was looking into this, I said, wow, we had a hereditary predisposition, but it's evolutionary, which means that we can evolve into a better person if we so choose. Because staying where we are, still juggling and putting things off, is not a good look. And eventually the people around you, you're going to start feeling uncomfortable if they start passing you, so to speak, with accomplishing their goals, and you are slow to accomplish your goals, not because you're not able to, it's just because you're giving in to the procrastination bug. Stop giving in to that. It's not a good look. It's not going to help you. Trust me, it's not going to help you. It's just going to delay you with getting to your goal. And time is precious. It's short. Okay. I'm going to end this because I can go on and on and on. I was trying to get it in one episode. But like I said, by all means, drop some comments in the comment section if you want to get into this procrastination thing, and don't feel like you are a bad person about procrastinating. I've done it and I still do it from time to time, but it's not with the detrimental things that I need to take care of right now. Those things I attack aggressively. Why? Because the quicker I can do it and get it checked off my list, I feel more relieved. The pressures come when the things on the list just keep adding up, and they keep adding up and keep adding up to the point where we see the list and we're just like, you know what? I'm cool on all of this. It's just not a good look. So when you're watching this, to end on a high vibrational level, it's Thursday, and you know I love Thankful Thursday. You should be thankful every day. And what I'm thankful for today is the ability to walk on my own. And why is that? Because I was coming back from the store. I was at work and took a break and walking from the store, and really started to thank God, the creator, universe, source, however you identify with your higher power. And I took a moment and just realized that I was walking. And it's just like, you're an adult. Like, why would you even look at that? Because we take so many things that we do without thinking for granted. I didn't need any assistance standing up. I didn't need any assistance walking to and from my destination. And I had to thank God for that, because I don't think about, oh, let me get up and let me put one foot in front of the other. But there are people who have not had the ability to even walk, not having had the ability to stand, or life dealt them a card where now they are relearning how to walk, or they're losing their ability to walk. So whatever it is that you're thankful for, drop it in the comments. I would love to see what you're thankful for. Like I said, I don't want to hear, oh, I'm thankful for, my house, my car, my job, my family. No, I need you to dig deep. Think about the things that we take for granted. A lot of people don't have the abilities that we have, you know? So just dig deep. Let me know what you're thankful for. Don't, you know, don't feel some type of way if you're the only person commenting. This is our the building of a community where we can speak freely and be respectful of other people's comments. But this was a pretty long one, but I felt that it was important because these are the type of things that I don't think people really talk about. Because it's negative. Who wants to talk about procrastination? Who wants to talk about a character flaw? Who wants to talk about something that, is looked at in a negative light, even though it is a bad word? If you want to use bad or a negative word, is something that you can change if you so choose. You don't have to continue to be a procrastinator. You can sit down and figure out what is going to take to make you better. What is it going to take to put you in the driver's seat, put you in the action seat? Um, how bad do you want it? you know, what is it going to take for your brain to buy into the plan, your goals? If I feel like this, if whatever you're trying to achieve is important to you, if it's really, really, really important to you, then you're going to put some action behind it. That's just it. You know, if you want better for your life, and I believe we all do at some point, is going to require for you to get active. You have to, and I don't want to say you have to, like I'm giving you a directive. This is something that I have talked to and told myself. I'm going to just have to do the work. If you don't do the inner work, you're not going to get active. And so the BS is just going to continue. And where you are in life, you're just going to be right there. And if you don't want to be right there anymore, wherever there is for you, you're going to have to make the adjustments. There's no other way about it. There is no knight in shining armor that is going to come and scoop you, you know, because usually, especially in today's society, in this cancel culture, friendships, relationships, and everything is getting canceled soon as they see something low vibrational, instead of helping each other, giving us the tools. Do you want the tools? I'm looking for the tools. I search for the tools on how to do better and how to be better. Because I know once I put these things in motion, then my goal management, my goal achievement ability is going to be that much better. Okay. So at the end of the day, it's Thankful Thursday. You're watching this. I know you can do it. I am here to inspire you. Trust me. Um, Even me getting this video up, I could have looked at my technical difficulties, which prevented me from recording last week. I could have said, you know what, forget this YouTube thing. But I saw this as a challenge. I had to overcome a lot of things. I'm still overcoming a lot of things. And, I apologize. This episode is long-winded, but if your foundation, whatever your foundation looks like, imagine a pie chart. If procrastination is almost your whole pie, then it's time to make some adjustments and get that to a very minimal, under double digits percent. You know what I'm saying? They say that It's 46% of your pie chart, of your hereditary pie chart. Get it evolved to the point where it's at 2%. Yeah, it's gonna take some work. Yeah, it's gonna cause you to have to unlearn certain behaviors. But guess what? You're learning things that are going to be beneficial to you in the long run. And if you have children, you don't want to pass that on to them. You want to teach them how to be aggressive, attack things when it's necessary, and not aggressive into the meaning of being physically aggressive and brutal in that sense. But don't wait. Your life, God willing, if God allows you to be 90, 95 or whatever have you, you don't want this procrastination bug. It's a bad rash. You know what I'm saying? That likes to pop or rear its ugly head from time to time. But the more active you get and that procrastination bug try to rear its head, you can kill it quickly and say, I'm not going back down that road. Why? Because that was a road that kept me stagnant. Being a procrastinator is not sexy. It is not an attracting thing. And let me take that back. Yes, it is a procrastinating thing because misery loves company. I believe and it just said your social network. Procrastinators kick it with procrastinators. Why? Because if a procrastinator will get into a group that is moving and attacking their goals, they're going to feel uncomfortable. But maybe you should get into a group that's attacking their goals, because then they're going to give you or hopefully getting active rubs off on you. The more you kick it with lazy people, it's going to be like, why should I get involved with anything? Kick it with people who are going places, who have goals, and they're checking them off one by one. And I'm not saying you get rid of the friends and things, and sometimes it's family, but you have to limit your time with these individuals, because either the procrastinator is going to pull you towards them, or you can pull the procrastinator towards you being active. And sometimes the people that I know that are moving and shaking, they don't have time to pull up. The people that they're surrounded with, they're surrounded with go-getters. Get around some go-getters. If you're having a problem getting in gear, get around people who don't take no for an answer. That's what I had to do. I had to get around people who was shaking and moving. And now that I got my own gas, I don't rely on others. I got my own wherewithal. I got my own octane within myself. And you can develop that as well. Your mind just has to buy into your future. And if you're trying to force, and that's another thing, if you're trying to force yourself to, let's just say like this, if being a lawyer is your parents' wish and that's not what you wish to do, you going to law school is going to be strenuous, because in the back of your mind you're going to be like, this is not what I want to do. So you have to find what it is that you want to do. And some things, let me tell you, okay, we all wish that we had the financial stability where we didn't have to go into work every day, some of us. But until you get to that level, you have to do that. There are some certain things that you're going to just have to do until other things pan out for you. So You just got to continue to make your adjustments. You got to buy into it. Have your body buy into it. Have your mind buy into it. You just got to get her done. That's it. All the excuses, all the justifications that you give yourself of why you can't, or I got to put this off, or I can put it off, just stop it. Just stop it. Because I'm sure if you just start doing small things, like I said in a prior episode, once you're in motion, you stay in motion. Once you back off and you get stagnant, the procrastination bug, oh, I don't feel like it, I'm tired, it's cold outside, or whatever the case may be, it just creeps back up. The old behaviors is easier to get back into. So let's develop new habits. Procrastination, it may be hereditary, but it's also evolutionary, which means that you have the ability, if you so choose, to evolve into a person that is in the driver's seat, not in the passenger, not in the back seat, not in the trunk or whatever, or maybe you're not even in the car. You have the ability if you so choose. Everybody has choices. So I'm going to end this here. Don't forget to like, comment, share. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. This portion, I like to call it life study because somebody sent me into study mode. And so I just don't like to, talk out the side of my neck. I like to have some resources that we can talk about and get some different perspectives. So if you have some different perspectives, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I would love to hear them. And let's just continue to grow together. We have to. We have to do the inner work. That's the new sexy. There's no way around it. You just got to get active. So with that being said, it's Thankful Thursday. Every day you should be grateful, be thankful. Let me know what you're grateful for. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you're vibing with me. I know this is a lengthy one, but thank you for sticking with me. Let's continue to have these types of conversations because this is our foundation. Finding out what is hindering us and what we can do to be better. All is not lost. Okay? So until then, y'all keep it up. Keep up the good work. Continue doing the inner work. I know it may seem strenuous. I know you might want to give up, but don't give up. Because trust me when I tell you, once things start falling into place, you're gonna feel so much better. So much better. I promise you. Because I know I do. Okay? So until then, you guys keep doing the inner work. Looks good on you. It's the new sexy. Life is a movement. So get in traffic. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.